Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another daily live stream. It's a chilly day here in Chicago. By chilly, I think the high today is 71. And I went for a walk this morning and it was like 58 outside. And it was awful. I'm not ready for cooler weather. I want my 85 degrees back, please. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another daily live stream. Glad to have you here today. Today is another accountability day. Today is going to be another day that I share with all of you what my journey is looking like, how things are going, and hopefully helping you stay accountable in your journey as well. Before I begin, Miss Peaceful One, Lynn, Prod Sleck, Patty, Gloria, BMJ, welcome. Nice to see you. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you all being here today. So today is day 660 of my fasting journey. My hands are cold. It's cold. I shouldn't be wearing a hoodie in August, although I'm wearing shorts, but it's 72 in my apartment. It's still cold. Anyway, day 660 of my fasting journey, but also my health and wellness journey, my health and happiness journey, my journey of imperfection. Just like your journey is a road of ups and downs. And I think the best way to find success in your health and wellness journey is to accept the fact that these ups and downs are going to happen. And it's more a matter of how do you deal with the downs when you are struggling, when you are having a hard time. What does it take for you to keep yourself going rather than saying, well, today's shot. Today's pointless. Today, I don't want to do anything. And we have those moments. I have those moments. I'm not going to lie to you. Today, I would rather be laying in my bed. I don't have my couch, but I'd rather be laying in my bed right now just because there are some days when I'm just not completely feeling it. But I'm here because the accountability is important. I'm here and I know once I start going and I'm able to share what I need to share, it gets me in a place where it's like, okay, I remember why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to keep myself accountable, to keep myself in check, to help other people on their journey as well. So 660 days of my journey, 660 days of imperfect consistency, days where I lost 80 pounds in less than 5 months, but also along the way happened to find myself gaining about 30 pounds in 5 weeks. And this is only a month ago, gaining 30 pounds about a month ago. Now, of course, it isn't just 30 pounds of straight up fat that I gained. That's just the number on the scale. That's what the number gave me. And I did what I typically do. After every single struggle, after learning about my mistakes, I use my tools that are handy. And the ultimate tool that works for me is fasting. Short fasts, longer ones, and implementing all the other tools in between. After gaining 30 pounds last month, I put myself back in a rhythm. Got myself doing alternate day fasts, losing the majority of that weight in about 3 weeks. Also allowing myself to still eat whatever I want on some of those days. and then performing a longer fast to counteract that. But not only to counteract it, but to also put myself in a caloric deficit, losing 24 pounds in 3 weeks, and then continuing the process, doing rounds of ADF, still having days where I have a quote unquote 20% day, eating whatever I want, and then performing another longer fast to counteract that. So I've been doing a majority of alternate day fasts, but also threw in a 93-hour fast and most recently throwing in a 67-hour fast. In 32 days, I lost 26.2 pounds. And currently, I'm working on another 65-hour fast because tomorrow is another 20% day for me. Tomorrow's another day where I am going out, and tomorrow's going to be a big day. Tomorrow I will be eating quite a bit because I'm going to be gone for the majority of the day, where there are going to be food trucks and stadium food, and it's all you can eat, no questions asked. It's like this special event that I'm going to. But I'm currently 39 hours in, which would mean that I won't even be completing a 65-hour goal tomorrow. It'll probably be closer to around maybe 60 hours, maybe 62 hours, something like that. BMJ says, yum. Absolutely. I cannot wait. I was there last year and the food was pretty good. We'll see if it's similar this year. There was a lot of generic food, but I still ate it. And I'm just excited to be with friends and hanging out. So we'll see what that looks like. You're all going to see what that looks like anyway. Hi, Christopher. Hi, Sydney. I didn't say hi to you earlier because you weren't in the hello portion of the segment, but appreciate you being here. So in the last 34 days, right? In the last 34 days, I have completed 13 rounds of ADF. I have completed a 93-hour fast. I have completed a 66-hour fast. And I have lost 26 pounds in 32 days. I've pretty much lost the majority of the weight that I had gained over the last 5 weeks in about the same time. And honestly, I feel in these last 32 days or 34 days now, I feel in this amount of time, I've made a lot of strides. I felt like I have learned how to incorporate my 20% days to really dig into, hey, if you're going to eat whatever you want, you got to be mindful. You still got to track and make sure that you're not going completely overboard, because if you do, you're going to have to implement a longer fast in there to kind of offset this. That's something new that I have been implementing before, because before I would just eat whatever I wanted. 7,000 calories, fast for 90 hours. But this time there's a little more thought process into it. And that's a big change. That's a big change in what I've been doing. Hi, Andrew. Andrew says, hi, I've been sick for a long time. Blood pressure 160 over 100. Wow. I'm 2 days into a fast to lower my blood pressure. Andrew, keep us posted. How have you been feeling overall? I know you're saying you've been sick, but are you just feeling lethargic? Are you feeling off? Hopefully getting a fast in you, kind of resetting your system, will help you with your blood pressure. It definitely did for me. When my blood pressure was through the roof, I should share that picture. And I've shared that picture before with you all, but I don't know where it is. I'd have to go look for it. When my blood blood pressure used to be so high and I would have to go to the doctor, they'd immediately put me on an EKG to make sure that everything was okay with my heart. I hated it. hopefully for you, Andrew, you start to feel better. Hopefully, even just being 2 days fasted, right, is changing things for you. But what it also means is the moment that you do break, right, that's where you start implementing your other good, healthy habits to kind of get yourself back on track. Keep us posted, Andrew. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable like that, too. It's not an easy thing to share with just random people on the internet. Appreciate you for sharing that. So, my spreadsheet was getting a little too long here. So, I just wanted to share what my starting weight was, where it's at now, after 13 rounds of alternate day fasting, a 93-hour fast, a 67-hour fast. I started at 169.6 back on July 23rd. So literally just a little over a month ago. And then today, not today, this was yesterday. That should say 825. I'm sorry. Yesterday, I was 143.4. The lowest I've been in 9 weeks, down 26.2 pounds. This morning, I was 145.4. So I'm up 2 pounds still. Remember when I had my refeed 2 days ago? Was it 2 days ago? Yeah, it was Sunday. It was Sunday. I refed Sunday. I ate 3,800 calories. And then, am I getting that right? Yeah, because I'm breaking tomorrow. So hopefully my weight will be right back at around the 143-ish mark for tomorrow before I have my 20% day. Refeed stats. Again, we're just going to go through all the nerd stats here. Over the last 15 refeeds, my average refeed time has been about 4 hours. My average calories per refeed, about 3,400. My average protein per refeed, 198. Refeed times, protein intake, good. Calories per refeed, I would like to get that dropped to under 3,000, especially as I'm doing ADF, but I'll take it. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's a number that I'm looking at to make sure that it'll be better as time goes on. Over my last 7 refeeds, I have had some days where I've completely eaten way more than I should. But those were also my 20% days. You'll see highlighted in yellow a 7,500 calorie day, a 4,800 calorie day. And then some other days where I was over the 3,000 limit, eating 3,600 calories, 3,200 calories, and most recently, 3,800 calories, right? So when it comes to imperfect consistency, right? There's a lot of there are a lot of days where I know I'm not going to eat perfectly. It doesn't change the fact that the routine, the game plan shouldn't switch up either, right? I'm not tossing the day away. I'm not tossing the plan away. All I know is if I stick to it, even if I'm a bit over, it'll be fine. It always works itself out because obviously the weight continues to drop. Like even today, when I weighed, I'm 2 pounds up from the lowest I was at before my refeed. I didn't step on the scale. I didn't see 2 pounds higher. And I didn't say, well, this sucks. What's the point? Right? Instead, I'm like, okay, the weight is going to say what it wants to say. The clothes still fit the way I want it to fit. I'm still able to go for a long walk and feel good and be energetic. Nothing changes. The journey continues, as always. Jarus, Poggy Jerome. I appreciate the kind words. I don't know if I know that second part. Super baget ng itsura. See, my Tagalog isn't perfect. I'm going to have to look later. Caesar Blue, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so my refeed weights and my fasted weights, I show this because it's a really good representation of how the scale pushes itself up after a refeed and how it pushes itself down even after fasting for only 23, 24 hours. After my refeeds, I will gain 5, 6, 7 pounds. I mean, if you look at what's highlighted in red here, you'll see pretty much the lowest gain was only 5 pounds, but there's a lot of 6 pound gains, a lot of 7 pound gains over a refeed. But then you'll also see 24 hours later, a drop of 5 pounds, a drop of 5.8 pounds, 6.6 pounds. There's something highlighted in blue here where it's a drop of 8.2 pounds, but that's because I had a 65-hour fast. And tomorrow, so right now, if you look at the last line, my last refeed, I gained 6 pounds. After about a 24-hour fast, I lost 4 of those 6. But currently, I'm still fasted. I just showed you all right now, I'm 37 hours fasted, 38. No, I'm 39 hours fasted. So hopefully when I weigh in tomorrow morning, that weight should drop even more. And obviously, it's more than just fasting, right? In the last 34 days, my daily step average is over 16,000 steps daily. My daily step average over the last, I think, year is somewhere over 12,000. Yesterday's step count was over 19,000. I had a lot of walking yesterday because I still have so much to do before I get out of here. I mean, this apartment is pretty much done. The walls are patched up. The big items are mostly moved except for this desk and my bed, which will be taken down in a couple of days. But in between shipping stuff out, putting stuff in my storage unit, moving things from one place to another, I'm getting a lot of steps in. Just the fact that I live in the city as well and I take public transit, taking steps, going for walks, I love being able to do that. It's a really good opportunity for me to disconnect from everything lately. You know what I've been doing lately? And I wonder if any of you have been doing this. I've been taking a lot of time away from social media because it's like, I think many of us are just so addicted. I was on the train yesterday, and yesterday on the train, I didn't put my AirPods in. I didn't listen to music. I didn't listen to any of my language learning. And it was just nice to kind of disconnect. I don't know. There's something about it. I feel like, I don't know. It's just, I find myself, I tend to like be on the internet way too much and go through a bunch of random shit that is literally just a waste of time. But I don't know. I feel like it's helpful for me to at least kind of clear my head every now and then in that way. It's something that I want to maybe start practicing a little more. Because even though when I go for walks and I do my language learning, yesterday I did like half an hour where I didn't do any of that. I was just walking and listening to people walking around or the ambulance passing by or whatever else. I don't know. It was just nice. It was nice in that way. What's going on, Eric? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Sugary fasting says, I wonder if Jerome checks his blood pressure every day for the most part. My blood pressure is in normal ranges, usually 115-ish or so over, I don't know. That depends, between 70 and 75, give or take. but my blood pressure is really good. I used to be on blood pressure meds. I used to take lisinopril, and I used to be on metformin. And well, back in the day, my doctor was trying to get me on Ozempic, and I wouldn't get on it then because I was stubborn then too. I was just like, no, I'm going to fast. But the whole time then I was just going crazy with the bad control when it came to my eating. But my blood pressure is in check. My blood sugar is in check. I mean, I go to the doctor every 6 months. My blood work's been optimal. So I'm really happy when it comes to that. Yeah. Hi, Isa. Isa says social media and endless scrolling really takes away my focus. It's the same for me. I saw this thing. Yeah. I mean, is even Miss Peaceful One says, I think it sometimes subconsciously affects us. I saw this thing. Where did I see it? But it's about focusing differently. I believe it was called deep focus, where for even just a couple hours a day, you completely disconnect from all social media and you just work on the shit that means something to you, whether it's your work or your goals. You all know that I'm not going to be here by the end of this week. And there are some things happening before I officially come back. That's a different story, but I will I guess I should share this with you while you're all here. I did find a place that I will be working out of temporarily before I move out of the country. And it's a very small space. There are no windows inside, but I am going to try to dedicate that space for the time I'm there to really lock down and focus on what's important to me. So, we'll talk about that in the future, though. I say that, though, because this deep focus thing that I've been talking about, it's one where you literally disconnect yourself and you focus on the things that are important to you. Because they started to talk about something called, what was it called? They called it shallow work. So you think you're working, you think you're being productive, but really what you're doing is this shallow work means you're casually checking email, maybe responding to an email, doing these really mundane tasks that, yeah, they're productive in a sense, but you're not really focusing on something that you've been passionate about. And so that's something that I want to start doing in about a week or so, but we'll save that for another day. We'll talk about that later. Isa asks, do you apply Atomic Habits, Jerome? You seem to touch the aspects of it a lot. I used to have the book right here. If you watch my old live streams when I had my TV and shelf here, Atomic Habits is something that I do practice a lot. I do believe in that 1%, right? And if some of you are unfamiliar of what 1% is, I mean, you hear me talk about 80-20 all the time, right? 1% is just applying even 1% of a good habit, of instilling a good habit in your life. So let's say, for example, right? Perfect example. And I've shared this with people I've coached as well. My fridge is right over there, but I was like, can I show you my fridge? I have like a bunch of just random stuff here that is being packed away, but my fridge is right there, right? And that fridge used to be super messy, a bunch of condiments, a bunch of just random whatever. And I never wanted to clean it out because it's just a pain in the ass to clean out. And the way I thought about it, especially after reading Atomic Habits, was to take 1% and just apply 1% to cleaning the fridge out. And that's literally what I did. I told myself, okay, Jerome, you're going to have a checklist, and every day you're just going to take one thing out of your fridge. And sure enough, every day I take one thing out. Some days I take two things out. Some days I'd clean a shelf. But a couple weeks later, that fridge was completely cleaned out. and it didn't feel daunting. And it was just the habit of doing something, right? And that's kind of how I see it. When, I mean, Isa would know, right? Like even when I'm going for my walk and I'm listening to my AirPods and I'm doing my language learning, I'm habit stacking. I'm doing a number of habits, a number of good habits. Like I said before, like killing two birds with one stone. So yes, I'm very well aware of the book. Um, okay. So let's see here. The 80-20 rule, just like we're talking about percentages, right? I apply something in my life called the 80-20, meaning that 80% of the time, the majority of the time, I am keeping myself in check. I am eating a lot healthier. I am making sure that I'm getting my steps in. I'm going to the gym and lifting weights. I'm sleeping on time. I'm taking care of my mental health, right? I'm doing all of these things 80% of the time. Now, the other 20% of the time, it doesn't mean I'm not doing anything. It doesn't mean I'm not doing any of those things. But the other 20% of the time, for example, tomorrow is a 20% day. Tomorrow, I am breaking my fast and I'm going out with friends and family and I'm going to be eating whatever I want. I'm going to a place where there isn't going to be the healthiest of foods. There isn't going to be a place where I'm going to be weighing my food or I'm going to get a rough or I'm going to get an accurate calorie count on what I'm eating. But I'm also, even though I'm giving myself the opportunity to eat whatever I want, it doesn't mean that I'm just going to eat without regard. I'm still going to roughly estimate what my calories are, what the protein is. I'm still going to make sure that if there are cookies and pie, that I'll probably have some, but I know I can't go insane on it. If I do, well, then you'll know about it because I'll still be filming everything I eat, just so you all get an idea of what that looks like after the event tomorrow. But in the last 34 days, since I have started tracking this way, since I have really been applying this 80-20 rule, it isn't even 80-20. The last 34 days, 32 of those days have been 80% days. I've been averaging 2,900 calories and 202 grams of protein. And let's even point this out. Even though the last 32 days, I'm averaging 2,900 calories per refeed, that's only half the time. Of those 34 days, only half of those days, about 17 of those days, 16 of those days have I eaten. The other days, I haven't eaten at all. Completely fasted. And then the 20% days, my calories are really high, over 6,100 calories right now and 170 grams of protein. Those numbers aren't completely accurate either. They're very rough estimates, but that's kind of what I've given myself. I don't worry about it too much. I just give myself that round number so I know where I'm at when it comes to my daily habits, what my routine looks like. But the math doesn't math in terms of 80-20. In the last 34 days, I've only had 2 days where I've eaten whatever I wanted. So really, this is more of a 94-6. Tomorrow, I'll be having another 20% day. So it'll be 3 times out of 35, which, what is that percentage-wise? 8.5%. So 9%. Then after tomorrow, it'll be more like a 91.9. But still keeping myself in a percentage where most of my days are good. Most of my days, I'm taking care of what I need to take care of. A reminder again that these days are going to happen. Don't beat yourself up just because you had a bad day of eating. Don't beat yourself up because you couldn't fast for as long as you thought you would. Instead, understand what happens afterwards. When you have a day like that, how do you minimize the damage? How do you perform damage control? When you have a day of overeating, when you have a day where you break your fast early, what do you do after? Do you have a backup plan? Do you have some kind of routine set in case something like that happens? Or do you find yourself completely going overboard? Do you find yourself completely forgetting about everything that you were doing? Because that is the part that you need to push yourself away from. Nobody needs to go that far out. If you can find a way to push hard when you can, and then do something in the middle, and even overeat sometimes, and even break your fast early sometimes, or even have a really long refeed one day. If you are able to do that and you can accept that, you're a step ahead. Because if you're that kind of person right now that is doing all or nothing, that is being the strictest possible, but then doing the complete opposite when things don't work out. And by complete opposite, I mean, you're going to go crazy when you eat. You are going to stop hitting your timer. You're going to stop going to the gym for whatever period of time because you know what? I'm just done with it. A question for people who are in here right now or who watch this on the replay. How many of you are sitting here waiting for September 1st? How many of you are like, yeah, it would be nice to start today, but it's Tuesday already and I messed up on Monday. And you know what? It's so close to the 1st of September. So let's just start September 1st. It's that kind of thinking. It's that kind of behavior that is trapping you. You're going to be stuck in this loop. So then what happens on September 1st when it doesn't go according to plan? You're going to wait till Monday? Actually, what day is September 1st? September 1st. Oh my God, September 1st is a Monday. That's when the stars are aligned. That's how I used to think. It's like, oh shit, the 1st is on a Monday. It's a sign. It's the start of everything. I don't know how many people are thinking about that right now. The 1st of September is also Labor Day. So that might not work out for some people because maybe they have plans Labor Day weekend. But hopefully, if you're watching this right now, you aren't saying, I'm starting September 1st. I'm starting on Monday because it's a new month. It's a new me. It's really not a new you. It's the same you that's been doing the same bad habit shit for a while. So maybe what it means is if it's a new you, you do something new for yourself today. You do something different for yourself today because you understand that this cycle cannot continue. You have to break that cycle. You really do. And hopefully, as I do these daily live streams, hopefully you realize that this cycle can be broken because you're talking to someone or you're watching someone right now who has, for the most part, broken that cycle. I used to be that guy that would wait until midnight to start. I would be that guy that would wait until Monday to start. I would be that guy that would wait until the 1st of the month to start. I would be that guy that would wait until my birthday to start. And then I'd be like, oh shit, it's my birthday. Let me celebrate. And then I would start the day after my birthday. Do you see how bad this is? I would be that guy that would say, I'm just going to wait till after the holidays. I would be that guy that would say, I'm just going to wait till the 1st of the year. Always kicking the can down the road. Always kicking the can down the road. It's pointless. It is pointless when you realize that you have so many things that you can do for yourself today. Even if your eating was out of control, there are so many other things that you can do for yourself today. If your eating was out of control, then you should take advantage of all those calories you just ate. Join a gym, start lifting heavy, take up boxing. I only say boxing because I've been thinking about taking up boxing because it seems kind of fun. But right, you know what I mean? Take advantage of those calories that you're putting in. One of the things that I've learned for myself as I've been doing these longer fasts now is today, for example. Today is hour 40 or whatever of my fast, and tomorrow I will be 50 something hours fasted in the morning, maybe 55 or whatever. Tomorrow is going to be an easier day. I'm not going to take as many steps tomorrow. Tomorrow is also my 20% day. But on the days that I refeed, in the evenings when I refeed, you can be sure that the next day in the morning, not only will I put a long walk in, but I will lift heavy at the gym because I am using those calories to my advantage. That's a different mindset. That's looking at things in a different way that maybe you haven't done before. Because what you might be doing is you're associating eating shitty, eating a ton of calories with then performing shitty activities after. What do you mean by shitty activities? Laying on my non-existent couch that used to be there. Ordering Grubhub and DoorDash and saying, well, you know what? I already ate, so we might as well make it another meal. And then sure enough, those clothes that you wear don't fit. Sure enough, you're afraid to walk out that door because you don't want people to look at you. You won't look at the mirror as you pass it by because you don't want to look at the damage that you've put on yourself these last 3, 4, 5 days, right? I say that because that has been me. I have been through that so many times that I know by now I don't want to put myself back there. But I've done it. I've literally, a month ago, as we're talking right now, a month ago, I gained 30 pounds. So I get it. I didn't want to look at the mirror. Even when I went for a walk, when I finally decided I got to get my shit in check, when I went for a walk, I was avoiding looking at myself because that's how bad I felt. Nothing fit right. It's a shitty feeling. And I want to make sure that I will do everything that I can to prevent that from happening over and over and over again. The one thing that I'm very proud of is the fact that during this journey, I lost all the weight in a record amount of time, eating whatever I wanted, fasting really long amounts of time. But what I'm even happier about is the fact that the fasting changed. I no longer needed to fast for 90 hours every single time. The diet changed. I no longer ate 6,000, 7,000 calories every single time. I've learned to adapt and optimize. And even on the days where I would gain weight and I would go on vacation and I'd put on 10 pounds or 20 pounds, I figured how to get myself back down. Not by always doing 90-hour fasts, but maybe doing shorter ones. Taking advantage of the extra calories and going to the gym and lifting weights. Here's the thing too, is a lot of times after a refeed, especially at the beginning, I did not want to go to the gym because I felt bloated and I felt embarrassed because I ate so much. That's how I used to feel. Today, if I eat 6,000 or 7,000 calories, I will be at that gym. I do not care how bloated I look. I mean, you see me stand up here after gaining 6 pounds. It is not my shining moment, but I do it because it's like, what the hell? This is me. This is what's happening right now. I'm trying to figure my shit out. Standing up here, being accountable in that way will help me. remind me that it's okay to be imperfect, that it's okay. I still have fat on my belly, that I'm working on it. It's okay that I ate what I ate and I'm feeling bloated. I'm a human being. Shit happens. We are not perfect in any sort of way. Hi, Nash. Nash says, first ADF in a while, 44 and a half hours. Thanks, Coach Jerome. Nash, you're very welcome. I'm so glad to hear it. I know we were just talking, and I'm not going to try to put Nash's everything out there, but Nash and I have worked for quite some time, and Nash has started to implement better habits along the way, and it looks like Nash was able to complete her first ADF in a while at 44 and a half hours. Congratulations. I love that. I love that, Nash. Congrats. Oh my goodness. There are a lot of comments here. I haven't even noticed. Michael says, Jerome, you're looking especially thinner today. Or could it be the blank state of your apartment? LOL. Either way, keep winning for you. Thanks, Michael. The thing is, I'm feeling lean lately. Even though I'm currently 145 pounds, I know that Jerome before, especially when I first lost the weight back in March of 2024, which was over a year ago, probably a year and 4 months or however many months that is, right? Completely different Jerome than today. I do feel I'm a lot leaner. I do feel I have a lot more muscle on me, but I appreciate the kind words. It also could be because the apartment's just completely empty and it's an optical illusion. I would hope that I still look thinner. Okay, let me see here. C, hi C, says, hey there, I did 2 months of ADF a couple of months back because of your videos and it helped me lose 30 pounds. Congratulations, C. I love that for you. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you. Tommy, how's it going, Tommy? Nice to see you. Welcome. Always nice to see you. C says, did you ever train for longer runs? I don't know if you're talking to me. Maybe you're talking to someone else. I have never trained for a half marathon or a marathon. I just do a lot of walking. I do not care for jogging. I do not care for running. But see, if you're wondering, maybe you're not. Maybe you are. I do coach some people right now who are training for a marathon. They completed a half marathon a couple months ago doing ADF and have been quite successful on it. So they're currently working on a marathon right now and still doing ADF and have found good success. I mean, when the half marathon came, they ended up eating more frequently right before it. But for the most part, I mean, not only did they lose a good amount of weight, but they've had the energy to keep going and still really performing that well. Again, everyone's use case scenario is different, but I've worked with so many people in different scenarios. It's just, I could at least share that. Claire says, I have a question, Jerome. Please, if a person who practices ADF or several days of rolling fasting loses fat over several months and then decides to stop fasting, for example, to eat only once a day, will the person gain weight again? So the answer is simple here, Claire. Will the person gain weight again? Depends on how you're eating. If you decide to start eating every day again, I'm the perfect example of this. You will see this eventually, right? Think about my scenario here. I used to fast for 4 days at a time. 4 days at a time, eat 6,000 calories, fast for 4 days, eat 7,000 calories, fast for 4 days, eat 6,000 calories, fast for 4 days, eat 5,000 calories. Somewhere between 4,500 and 7,500 calories after every 90-hour fast. And then I still lost the weight because I was obviously fasting for an extended period of time that it didn't matter if I was eating 6,000, 7,000 calories because I was fasting for so long, the weight would still lose. And then I started moving into 65-hour fasts. Do you think I was still eating 6,000 or 7,000 calories? Sometimes. But I realized when I did, the weight wouldn't push itself down. Eventually, I had to start controlling calories there. And then I started doing 42-hour fasts. Currently, what I'm doing right now. Do you think I'm still eating 6,000 or 7,000 calories? Sometimes. But in the last 34 days, I've only done it once where I ate over 6,000. I ate 7,500. Now, think about this. If I decide to start eating every day right now, will I gain weight if I keep eating 3,000 calories every day? Most likely, I'm not going to be able to out-train that. My TDEE is somewhere around 2,300 calories. That's about how many calories I burn every day. Maybe more, maybe less, depending on a number of factors. But the question is simple, or the answer is simple when it comes to this. You can eat every day. Anybody who's watching this right now, and I want you to understand this. This is a really good learning moment, I think, for all of us here. Just because you do a long fast, just because you get a long fast under your belt, doesn't mean that you have to keep fasting as long as you have until you get to your goal weight. It doesn't mean that you have to fast for the rest of your life. But what it means is the moment that you stop fasting for a long period of time, and let's say you do start eating every day. Let's say you do TMAD and you're eating twice a day. What really matters then is how many calories are you putting in? Are you keeping yourself in check? Are you eating cleaner because now you're eating every day? You can't eat the same way, or I can't eat the same way I do, even at 42-hour fasts, if I decide to eat every day. There's no way. There's no way. This is why it's so important for anybody who's watching this that, yes, getting a long fast is amazing. Performing a long fast feels great because you get to watch the scale just drop. You get to see your clothes start to fit. It's as fast as you're going to get when it comes to losing weight. But there is so much to be said about fasting for less. Because if you fast for a shorter period of time, you have to be so much better when it comes to your eating. You have to learn how to limit calories. You have to learn how to eat better, eat cleaner. If you cannot do that, it is time to learn, right? I'm saying this to anybody who's watching this. It doesn't mean that you have to eat clean for the rest of your life either. It doesn't mean that the only thing you have to eat now for the rest of your life is chicken, broccoli, and rice. What it means is that you eventually have to learn how to eat better over time. It doesn't have to be a full 180. You don't have to eat the cleanest ever. You can if you want, but is that sustainable? Can that be consistent? It's a really good question because I think a lot of people, when they fast for a long period of time, when the fast ends, they don't know what happens next. They're not sure where to go to next. When in fact, this is why I say you never give up on your journey, because if you continue to show up every day, you learn how to do these things. You learn what to do when you fuck up on a fast. You learn what to do when you overeat. You will learn from those mistakes. You start to make better decisions. You start to build better habits. The only way you're going to get there is by doing it and by showing up. So, Claire, it's a really good question. And hopefully that's helpful in that regard. And hopefully for other people who are watching this too, that's helpful for you as well, or for you as well. Sugary Fasting says, where are you moving, Jerome? I'm moving to the Philippines. And do you ever plan on collabing with other YouTubers? I mean, I have collabed with some people. I've had interviews with some people. Justin Dorff is one of the more recent ones. A healthy alternative is one of the more recent ones, but that's when I say recent, that's about a year ago. I should collab with others because I think it would be great to share info and, but I'm also I'm very busy and sometimes I start to lose track, but you know, maybe one day. Maybe one day. Carnivorous teacher, hi. Nice to see you. Did you announce when the autophagy meeting will be? So we will have an autophagy meeting tomorrow, but it's going to be in the morning. I was going to save that until later because tomorrow I have to be at this event in the afternoon, in the early afternoon. Well, not the event itself, but we're all meeting up and I have to be driving about an hour away. So everything's going to be done in the morning. Tomorrow, I have to get my hair cut. Tomorrow, I have to do the autophagy live stream. And I decided that tomorrow, I'm still going to do a regular live stream. I'm going to get it all done tomorrow morning. And I want to make sure I wake up early and do all the other shit I need to do before I leave. So I'll talk about that at the end of this. But hi, carnivorous teacher. Margaret, you do look pretty lean today. Thank you, Margaret. I appreciate that. I'll take it as a compliment. I always like to point out people who are on Facebook here. Hi, Margaret. Nice to see you on Facebook. Appreciate you stopping by. Do you think fasting prevents or cures a cold, for example? So I cannot claim this, but I'll tell you what. Anytime I get sick, I'm knocking on wood here. Anytime I get sick, I fast. I don't eat anything. I put myself on a strict water fast anytime I get sick, or I start to have a sore throat, or I have a runny nose. Every time I do, I feel like I get better quickly, but that's me. I can only give you my own personal experience with that. The way I think about this as well is I think about like animals in the wild, like a lion or even like a dog. When they get sick, they're not eating everything in sight. Usually the things that they're doing is resting and drinking water. And when I get sick, so here's the thing, when I get sick, I don't think about walking. I don't think about lifting weights. I literally will get my ass on a couch or in bed. I'll watch TV. I will binge watch stuff, but I will not eat anything. I keep myself completely fasted. And for some reason that really helps. So Pooh Travels. I've seen this name before, right? I think. Can I eat anything? I mean, that depends. How long are you fasting for? I mean, you can eat anything, but does that mean you're going to lose weight? No. How long are you fasting for? When I used to fast for 90 hours, I would eat anything. I would eat 6,000, 7,000 calories and I'd still lose weight. I'm guessing that's what you're trying to ask. But this question is too broad because sure, you can eat anything, but if you're eating 4,000 calories and you're only fasting for 20 hours, you're going to have a hard time, right? But if you're fasting for 72 hours and you're eating 3,500 calories, I think you're going to be okay. That's the best way I can answer that question. Did I cover all my slides? I didn't. In the last 34 days, everyone, in the last 34 days, I have taken in 50,531 calories. Calories out in the last 34 days, 78,200. That has put me in a caloric deficit of almost 28,000 calories or a 7.9 pound fat loss. Every day I am putting myself pretty much on a deficit except on my refeed days. And on the days when I'm not refeeding, I'm making sure to give myself at least around like an 800 to 900 calorie deficit. And in the last 34 days, right? 28,000 calories in 34 days. What is that? That's an 825 calorie deficit about. So even when I have my 20% days where I'm eating 5, 6, 7,000 calories, I want to make sure that I'll fast long enough to keep myself at that deficit because I have a goal in mind. I have a goal to get to as lean as I can. So, which is why you'll see me do a 90-hour fast after eating 7,500 calories, or you'll see me doing a 65-hour fast after eating 4,800 calories. That's why you see me doing a 40 or a 65-hour fast right now, because I'm preparing to eat. I'm hoping tomorrow I'll keep it somewhere around 5,000 calories, but I don't know. Usman Khalid says, Jerome, I was watching your 5-year-old videos. Your face was more slim at that than now at the same weight. At 145, I doubt that. I doubt that. 5 years ago, if you're watching my videos from 5 years ago, that's when I weighed 125. That's when I was 130. So I'm currently 15 pounds past that. I mean, maybe you'd have to find that specific video where I'm 145, but I seriously doubt that. If you watch my 5-year-old videos, that's when I dropped to my lowest weight back at. So I hit 125 pounds right around my birthday, right when I turned 40 years old on December of 2020. So about 4.5 years ago. Yeah. Thanks, John. I'm just like, there's no way. You look the same from back then, in my honest opinion. I think I look the same for the most part, except I have a mustache now versus like whatever facial hair I had before. But the one thing I always look at is, do I still look the same or do I look so much older? Because right, I'm almost 45 now. I think the only thing that's changed over time is I do have a lot more gray. When the beard starts to grow, I'm so much more gray than where I'm at. Claire says, thank you for your reply. I don't speak English, so I don't understand much. Well, you know what, Claire? Thank you for even just taking the time to watch this, even while using Google Translate. I'll watch a live replay afterwards. I'm glad that you're asking questions and trying to, get the help that you need. So I appreciate that. All right, everyone, let's do fit check. Let's do fit check. If you are new or you're not aware of what fit check is, that's where I stand back there in this empty apartment. If you just tuned in and you're wondering, why is this apartment so empty? It's because I'm moving. I think there are going to be 2 more live streams in this apartment. So relish the moment. Fit check is when I stand back here and show you what I look like physically. Just a reminder, I have been overweight my entire life. I have been obese, morbidly obese, pretty much my entire life. As a kid, as an adolescent, as a teenager, in my 20s, in my 30s, and even in my 40s. I have always been struggling with my weight. Fasting, being introduced to fasting, practicing fasting, optimizing and tweaking fasting to my needs has gotten me to lose the weight, has gotten me to keep the weight off without taking any medication, without being on any kind of GLP-1, without being or having any kind of surgery. And fasting also started to involve eating better, also started to involve cardio and strength training, also started to involve sleeping better, having better mental health. My journey is similar to many of your journeys. You have to understand that it isn't just about fasting, that these other things play such a huge factor as well. If you feel bad because you're not fasting for as long as you want to, remember, there are so many other things along the way. Okay, let's do fit check real quick. You saw the before photo, I suppose, right? And then right now, I have a hoodie on because it's cold, but why is this not? Are we going to clear up here? What is with this camera? Okay, better. Does anyone drink Old Style? This is my favorite beer, everyone. Front shot. Oh, this hoodie here is a size large boys, so it's not even an extra large boys. It's a large. So this is a very small hoodie. If you're not sure how small a large boys is, if you have children, go grab their large shirt and be like, this is what Jerome is wearing right now. Or go to a department store and find a boys large, and then you'll understand how small this shirt is. So full shot here. These shorts are also boys large. Front shot, side shot, rear, side. I am wearing a t-shirt underneath. This is an extra large. See, you'll see, I still have fat here that I'm trying to lose, right? But that's fit check, everyone. That is fit check. So at this time, I will take Q&A. If you have questions, I will answer them. Please feel free to ask. I will answer as much as I can. If there are no other questions, then we will call it a day. But as I wait, if you are looking for help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, if you're looking for an accountability coach or an accountability partner, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. We can talk about a plan and a strategy and holding you accountable. If that's something you might be interested in, if that's something that you find helpful, if you've never tried something like this before, maybe it's worth a shot to see if it's something that could help you on your journey. Finallyfasting.com. You can also go there to find merch like this Finally Fasting sticker or this Finally Fasting sticker, which would also be applied on a hat. I don't have my other one because my apartment is getting very bare. But I also have a black one that's like this. But you can check it on the site. Also, if you are interested, you can also go to the link in the live stream. The link in the live stream will lead you to be part of the Finally Fasting fam. If you want to help support in that way, you can click the link in the live stream. You can get your name on the intros of these live streams. You can get custom emoji. And if you join the highest tier, which is $10 a month, you can join in on our Wednesday evening live streams. Although tomorrow is a morning live stream, but I'm going to talk about that later. The Wednesday live streams are special. They're group coaching sessions. We all hold each other accountable. We all have a group spreadsheet where we share our information and we all have different goals. So if that's something that you're interested in, please feel free to take a look. Again, you can go to the link in the live stream, or you can click the join button, I believe, on my YouTube channel, or I can't remember the other part, but yeah. Finallyfasting.com, or be part of the Finally Fasting fam. That's my shameless plug. Okay. Pooh Travels. This fucking name. How do you break a prolonged fast like 106 hours? So people might have different answers to this. For me, at this point, I eat differently. Back in the day, even if I were to fast for that long, I would still eat whatever I wanted. But today, when I eat this way or when I fast, I usually break with whole foods, vegetables, meat, fruit. And that's honestly how I eat anyway. Now, This answer is going to depend on many people because I'm the kind of person that can fast for 7 days and still eat whatever I want. I'm going to be fine. Many other people who fast for this long cannot eat the same way I do, cannot eat that many calories, cannot eat the variety of foods that I eat. Some people who fast for that long have to break it very slowly. Some people will do it with just fruit. Some people might do it with very bland foods, very lean protein. I will leave this up to other people in the chat because I know other people break differently, but I can only share what I know, and that's how I do it. For you, it might be a trial and error thing. So hopefully that helps. Pooh Travels. Fucking name. Miss Feasible One. Hi, Jerome. I think I should already know this, but don't recall. How did you discover fasting? Through Snake Diet. Back when he used to promote fasting. He no longer does. But hey, whatever works for you. The thing about it is it taught me that I wouldn't die if I fasted for more than a day. Because back in the day, I thought if anybody didn't eat for a day, you would die. And then that's when I ended up doing an 11-day fast. But over time, I changed my protocol. I tweaked it to how it worked for me. I was like, okay, I don't want to fast for this long, but I can maybe fast for 2 days or 3 days, or right. I eventually found my sweet spot at 90 hours. And now that's changed to 65s and 42s. So, Sleck says, next time, can you do the fit check without the compression shirt? I mean, I've done them without the compression shirt. What are you looking for? Is there a specific reason you don't want me to wear the compression shirt? I've done a couple without the compression shirt. So actually, if you look at my live streams when I first started doing the dailies and I was so heavy because I gained the 30 pounds, I couldn't even put the compression shirt on. So I guess I'm just wondering why. I don't know. There's nothing that really changes there. The compression shirt just kind of, for me, it helps me from like, I mean, I guess it helps smooth things out, but it's even without it, it's not like anything crazy. I mean, if you want me to do it, I'll take a minute and remove the compression shirt and put my t-shirt on, right? I don't think it's really different. So Margaret asks, how far in advance do you post for the live? So for my, I don't really post them that far in advance. I should, but usually I'll only post them like 30 minutes before I go live or even 15 minutes. So they are usually around the same times though on the weekdays. On the weekends, on Sundays, not Saturdays. Monday through Saturdays around the same time, but on Sundays, I post at around 7:30 p.m. Central. So hopefully that's helpful if you're trying to catch these on the regular. Appreciate the question though. Thanks, Aisha. Looking slim, Jerome. The amount of fat you have on you is minimal. Yeah, I feel like that's where the majority of it is, on my lower belly, and that's about it. So hopefully as time goes on, I'm guessing, like I said, right now I'm, what was I, 27,000 calorie deficit. I think I need to find myself at around 75,000 calorie deficit total. When I hit that 75,000 calorie deficit mark, I think I will have lost enough fat by then that I can start going on maintenance and starting to eat more often. But we'll see. We'll see. So, all right, everyone. I think that's our time. Yeah. I covered what I needed to cover. I was as accountable as I could be. Oh, no. You know what? Let's talk about tomorrow. Okay. So let me think about this. Okay. Tomorrow, I have a lot to do. Tomorrow in the morning, I have to get my hair cut. Tomorrow in the morning, I have to do my autophagy live stream to my Finally Fasting fam members. And tomorrow, I want to do a daily live stream for everyone. I don't know the order of how this is going to happen. I'm getting my hair cut later in the morning, so I think I'll be okay with that. I want to go for a walk in the morning, even if it's just a short one. My guess is I will do a public live stream tomorrow at around, don't it's not set in stone, but my guess is we will do one of these live streams tomorrow at like 8 in the morning. 8 in the morning, okay? That's my guess. 8 in the morning, and then it'll probably last for about an hour-ish. And then right after that, I'm going to do the autophagy live stream for my Finally Fasting fam members. And yeah, I think that timing works well. So 8 a.m. and then 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. and then 9:15 a.m., depending on how long this runs. So if you want to join me tomorrow, you're going to have to be up in the morning. I'm guessing most people are working tomorrow morning and will not be able to attend, which is fine. Or maybe you're able to work, or you work remote and you can jump in. And if you do, I'd love to see you. If it's just me talking to myself, that's fine too, because I'm here for my own accountability. I will still do what I need to do, whether it's having all of you here or me by myself. Got to keep pushing on, right? Got to stay accountable in that way. So that's it. If you're watching this on the replay, if you want to be here tomorrow, I'll be here tomorrow. We'll say 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard. Because when I wake up tomorrow at around 5:45 in the morning, I want to go for a short walk. I want to shower and, do what I need to do. There won't be much different. There won't be much difference from today and tomorrow, except I should be at a lower weight tomorrow. And I'll talk about my 20% day. And yeah, that's it. Okay. Appreciate everyone being here today. Thank you for everyone in the chat. Thank you for being kind to each other. Thank you for the support as always. Thank you especially to my Finally Fasting fam members. Appreciate the extra support as well. And I think that's all I got. So all of you continue to all of you continue to stay accountable, continue to practice imperfect consistency, continue, or at least remind yourself that this isn't about perfection. This is about being consistent. Consistency is going to reward you over all or nothing. So keep doing what you need to do. If you want to stay accountable, continue to show up here. If you want to join me for a morning live stream, because it's going to be morning, whether it's at 7:45 in the morning or 8:15 in the morning, it'll be in the morning. So if I see you then, I'll see you then. If not, you'll also see me on Thursday. So, all right, everyone, here's the obligatory wave. I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.